From hatred that ended a player's career,
this is a big-time brawl at Camden Yards,
to girlfriends and wives being snatched, these are MLB players who hate each other. Starting with one of the greatest feuds that started as one of the game's closest friendships. Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez were best pals when they were a lot younger. Their bromance was so strong that their teammates teased them about being boyfriends. Heck, they even made a song about him.
And Derek Jeter's our guest host, best friends who play on different coasts.
He likes R&B, so I'm gonna go with R. Kelly because he's a women's man.
True. Unfortunately, their love for each other would turn bitter. The first of many issues would arise when A-Rod moved to Texas for a then record fee of $252 million and name-dropped Jeter as someone who couldn't break his record. A month later, he was telling everyone he felt Jeter wasn't that guy and had it easy with the Yankees. Ouch! In retaliation, Jeter stole A-Rod's girl, which only made things worse instead of making them even. Then, in an unexpected turn of events, A-Rod got traded to the Yankees to join Jeter. This would end up messing with the team's chemistry.
Rod and Jeter, and who's going to get it? They drop it. Oh, man.
Although they tried to hide it, it was plain as day that these two didn't just not get along, but hated each other a lot. From defensive errors to awkwardness in interviews, these once best of buddies could barely stand each other. Despite their World Series triumph in 2009, they were never really as close as they used to be again. This is something A-Rod has come to regret looking back at it.
My regret is I wish we were as close as we were when we were teenagers in Seattle.
Nevertheless, it's safe to say that things are a lot better now that they're retired.
It's one of my best friends in Gerald Williams, and you realize life's short and you don't hold up grudges anymore and you move on.
But while these two managed to play together for a decade despite their differences, Bryce Harper and this two-time World Series champion wouldn't even last a freaking day in the same organization. A lot of people hate Bryce Harper. You watching this probably do too. But listen, I don't think anyone hates him in the MLB more than Hunter Strickland. No cap. See, back in the 2014 NLDS, Harper made Strickland look like a fool with the homer he hit off him in Game 1.
Bryce Harper. That ball is absolutely crushed!
And he did so again in Game 2 after staring down Strickland.
The 3-1. Harper hits it high and deep into the right field corner. If it's fair, it's long gone.
Harper ran to the dugout to celebrate, but also turned to scream in Strickland's direction. A total dick move. But since the Giants won that series and the World Series, you'd think all would be forgotten, right? Not quite. The truth is, Strickland held a grudge, a bitter one. And it wasn't until 3 years later that the two faced each other again, and Strickland would have the chance to take his revenge on Harp. When he did, he made sure it was fast and true by intentionally hitting Harp with a fastball right in his waist.
Whoa!
History.
And Bryce Harper reacted the only way he knew how.
Here they go! Strickland lands a punch. Harper lands a punch.
But wait a minute! What kind of shitty throw was that, Harp? It's a good thing you're not a pitcher, man, because damn. Anyway, as far as this beef was concerned, Strickland may have bitten off more than he could chew, because a full-scale brawl ensued. This brawl was so messy that it even ended a player's career. Giants outfielder Michael Morse caught a punch from Jeff Samardzija meant for Harper. Morse got a concussion so bad that he had to hang up his jersey. After the game, both parties involved shared their feelings about the incident, and Harper, as a hothead himself, respected the hate.
One thing I gotta say about Strickland, he hit me in the right spot, so I do, respect him for that.
Although, he felt it was unnecessary.
It's so in the past that it's not even relevant anymore.
Strickland's words, on the other hand, made it seem like his intent wasn't as malicious as we had thought.
Obviously I've left the ball over the plate a couple of times to him, and he's taken advantage of that.
Maybe Strickland was lying and his throwing was just bad that day. But the way Avisail Garcia started a feud with this next player was no damn accident. He knew what he was doing. Back in May of 2013, Prince Fielder divorced his wife, Chanel Fielder. Why, you may ask? Well, he has a former teammate to blame for that. In the seasons before the divorce, it turns out that Tigers outfielder Avisail Garcia was hitting homers as well as hitting on his teammate's wife. dude then went ahead to bone Fielder's wife and started an affair with her. Of course, Fielder was mad when he heard about it, but he wasn't alone. When Miguel Cabrera and other team players caught wind of what happened, they were just as enraged. Fielder's confrontation with Garcia at the clubhouse was so heated that other players got involved, and Cabrera was injured as a result. The private matter had some serious public consequences too. Garcia got traded for obvious reasons, but even with Garcia gone, Fielder was far from his best as he had a shitty season that year. Soon, he parted ways with the Tigers too, heading southbound to Texas. It took a year for Fielder to reconcile with his wife, and they lived happily ever after, I guess. Anyway, it took Fielder and Garcia moving to different teams to dial down their beef. But sometimes, players change teams, but their feeling towards each other don't. In 2019, in a game between the Mets and Nationals at City Park, Adam Eaton grounded into a double play at the end of the third inning. As Todd Frazier stepped out of the dugouts, he started shouting at Eaton, who wasn't holding back either.
Sudden heard something from Todd Frazier. Eaton circled back. Frazier was held back by his teammates. They almost went.
Frazier was held back, but the Nationals dugout was ready for a full-out brawl in case things got more heated.
Watch the dugout over here on the left-hand side. The Nats hopped the fence. They were ready to go.
After the game, interviewers asked Todd Frazier about what the frenzy was about, and he had this to say.
U.S. guys, and when I played with the White Sox in 2016, I asked all 23 of those guys. They know what happened. For him to even talk after that.
Wait, so whatever happened between them to make Frazier salty dates back to 2016? Whatever it was, Frazier wanted to settle it the old-fashioned way. When Eaton was asked about it, he couldn't help but smile a little bit.
Something happened with you and Frazier? you asked so like you didn't see anything.
And throw some jabs of his own. Whoa!
I'm a 30-year-old man with 2 kids and got a mortgage and everything. You know, stay patient with the childishness.
Did Eaton just call Frazier childish and sassy? But seriously, how did this beef start in the first place? Well, it started like any high school drama, in the locker rooms. Back in 2016, when both players were part of the White Sox, they were locker buddies. But Frazier had a problem with Eaton's arrogance. He also called out the organization for their treatment of Adam LaRoche and tried to fill the leadership role after Jimmy Rollins' departure. To keep the peace, Eaton's locker was moved, despite him being a White Sox for longer and being better than Frazier. It's either Eaton was a very cocky dude, or the White Sox had a man-child for a player. I'm no detective, so I can't say. Nevertheless, it looks like the two have gotten over it. But not all beefs ever meet a reconciliation, at least not the one between Garrett Cole and this other MLB legend, which has been going on since college. The two pitchers from UCLA were talented prodigies, but opposites when it came to their personalities. Cole was that hard-working, focused kid, while Bauer ran his mouth and played with his work ethic. Because of this, Cole said things that were a little harsh. Sorry, did I say a little? I take that back. Because before they were MLB players, Cole actually told Bauer he wouldn't make it to the MLB because of his poor work ethic.
We had a rocky relationship in college. He told me that I didn't have a future in baseball, and he insulted my work ethic.
But of course, the two got drafted as top picks and enjoyed relative success. But when Bauer suffered setbacks with his suspension and moved to Japan, it looked like Cole was more of the successful one. Had Cole's words from the years back come to pass? Well, even if it did, Bauer made it known that he didn't have a grudge against Cole.
I wish him nothing but the best. It's fun. Like I said, it's good for him. It's good for everyone involved.
Gosh, Bauer, you're a better man than I am. I would have dragged Cole's name through the mud if that was me. But I know two players who would wrestle in the mud if given the chance. Heck, they've even fought in the dugout. I'm talking about Barry Bonds and this other legend who hate each other so much. San Francisco wasn't just the home of the Giants. It was home to two giant egos, Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent. Barry Bonds had already spent 4 years in San Francisco before Kent joined in 1997. Their first heated moment was over a bus seat en route to spring training in 1997. Kent was seated where Bonds normally sat and refused to stand up. This really pissed off Bonds, and their beef would then spill into other activities, including training. Then Kent started to threaten Bonds' status in San Francisco as #1 with his incredible plays and charisma. I don't need to tell you how Bonds felt about that. If that didn't make him bitter enough, Dusty Baker making Kent the team's MVP and Kent winning the National League MVP while he had better numbers must have wound him up. So much so that when Kent was berating David Bell for a poor play, Bonds used that to get back at Kent and stir a fight in the dugout.
What a piece of Mr. October. June 2002, it's Jeff Kent and Barry Bonds.
If these two didn't get along in the open, there's no telling what happened when there were no cameras. In an interview with WFAN Sports Radio, Ken had this to say about his former teammate.
Could I say that I got along with them? Yeah, sometimes. Did most of the time not get along with them? Yeah, but did we work well together? Absolutely.
These two legends have retired, but it seems their beef hasn't. But I guess Kent and Bond live up to their names perfectly. They Kent Bond. There you have it, a few MLB players who hate each other. Who do you think was the biggest jerk? And who do you feel was a victim of bullying? Let us know in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing MLB content. And while you're at it, check out this video right here.